I'm going to show you guys how to make some delicious salsa tiquera. In a pot, I'm going to boil 4 tomatillos. I'm also going to add in some chili de árbol. I'm going to let that boil until it turns a clear greenish color. Next, I'm going to chop up my cilantro, some cebolla. I'm going to add it into my bowl. I'm also going to chop some avocados and I'm going to add it into the bowl. Next, I'm going to put my tomatillos and my chiles in my blender. And I'm going to add just a little bit of that water. I'm going to add in 1 clove of garlic, some chicken bouillon, and salt to taste. I'm going to put the top on, blend it, and this is how my salsa look. I added in my cebolla, cilantro, and avocados. And I did sprinkle lime juice over my avocados. I'm going to mix everything together, and this is how I made my salsa tiquera. Hope you guys try this recipe. Adios. I'm going to show you guys how I put together my chile relleno burrito. I warmed up a flour tortilla and added cheese to it. I'm also going to add some beans and some cilantro lime rice. And then I'm going to place on my chile relleno that's stuffed with cheese. And I'm going to add some homemade salsa. I'm going to roll up my burrito. And this is how it looks inside. It was super cheesy and delicious. And I already posted me making my chile rellenos on my channel, so you can go and watch that. Hope you guys try my recipes. Follow me on Instagram, YouTube, and share this video. Adios! I'm going to show you guys how to make some delicious birria tacos. I'm going to rub some salt on my meat and add some bay leaves into my blender. I'm going to add my guajillo chiles, onion, garlic, instant coffee, and all of my seasoning, along with 2 chipotle peppers, Ibarra chocolate, and 1 bay leaf, half a cup of vinegar, 1 cup of water that you soaked your chilies in, and 3 regular cups of water. I'm going to blend everything together. I'm going to pour half of it on to my meat. I'm going to add the tomatoes in and then add the rest over the meat. I'm going to let this cook for 2 hours. I'm going to add my chicken bouillon. I'm going to continue cooking it for 15 to 20 minutes. Next, I'm going to chop up my cilantro, some onion. Once my meat is done, I'm going to shred it. Your meat should easily shred. Here in the bowl, I have some fat that came from the meat. I'm going to dip my tortilla in it. I'm going to add my meat, my cheese, my cilantro, my onions, chili oil, some consomme, and I'm going to cook them until they're crispy. And this is how I served my birria tacos. Hope you guys make this recipe. Follow me on everything. Adios! I'm going to show you guys how I made my delicious tres leches cake. I did use a box cake mix, but I made it into my own. I'm gonna add in my vanilla cake mix, 1 cup of whole milk, 1/3 cup of oil, or you can use butter, 3 eggs, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. I'm gonna mix everything together. I'm going to add my cake batter into my greased pan. I'm going to place my cake in the oven to bake for 26 minutes on 350. I poked holes into my cake and I poured over my sweetened condensed milk, evaporated milk, and my heavy cream mixture onto my cake, and I let that soak for about 10 minutes. Next, I'm going to make my whipped topping, which I used heavy cream, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, or you can use any sweetener that you like. I'm going to spread the whipped cream over my cake. Then I'm going to add some fresh strawberries. And this is how my tres leches cake turned out. Hope you guys try this recipe. Follow me on everything. Adios! I'm going to show you guys how to make a delicious California burrito. First, I'm going to start off by marinating my meat. I'm going to add some onions, garlic, and lime juice to the blender. I'm going to blend it, and then I'm going to add it to my meat. I'm also going to add some cilantro and some jalapenos. And I seasoned it with onion powder, garlic powder, cumin, chili powder, chicken bouillon, salt. And I'm also going to add some beer and olive oil to my meat, and I'm going to let it marinate for about an hour, or you can marinate your meat overnight. Next, I'm going to cook my meat once it's done marinating. I'm going to heat up my flour tortilla. I'm going to add a layer of cheese and meat, along with some fries, some frijoles, some rice, some avocado salsa, some guacamole, pico de gallo, and I'm going to roll my burrito up like this, nice and tight. I'm going to add on some cheese sauce that I made, and I'm going to top it off with some pico de gallo and some more avocado salsa. And this is how it came out. And comment if you want the recipe to the cheese sauce. Hope you guys make this recipe. Adios. Today I'm making sopes. I'm going to start off by adding my masa, flour, baking powder, and salt into my bowl. I'm going to gradually add in some warm water. And I'm also going to add in some oil. You want to mix your masa for about 5 minutes. And I covered my masa while I worked on my meat. I boiled my chicken, added it into my pan, along with some potato, green chilies, cumin, chicken bouillon, salt, pepper. I added a little bit of chicken broth that I boiled my chicken in, and I let it simmer until the potatoes were done. And you can use ground beef as your filling, or carne asada. I'm going to make my masa into a circle, put it on my comal for about 20 seconds on each side. Then I'm going to pinch the sides, and you want to do that step right after it comes off the comal. You want to add it into the oil and fry it. I added some frijoles, queso, lettuce, salsa, and sour cream to my sopes, and this is how my sopes came out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Follow for more. Bye! I'm going to show you guys how I made my delicious flavorful pasta. I'm going to start off by salting my water and adding oil for the pasta. I'm going to saute onion and garlic and 1 pound of ground beef. I'm going to add my seasonings and I'm going to mix it. I'm also going to add 1.5 cans of pasta sauce. I'm going to mix that together. And I added 2 teaspoons of brown sugar to balance out the acidity from the second jar of pasta sauce I used. I'm going to boil and drain my pasta. Next, I'm going to add in the meat sauce. I'm going to gradually add that and then mix it. And here I'm adding the rest of the pasta sauce. Next, I'm going to top it off with mozzarella cheese, and then I'm going to sprinkle on some parsley. And this is how I made my delicious pasta. I hope you guys try this recipe. Follow me on everything. Adios. I'm going to show you guys how I made my cabbage slaw from my shrimp tacos. If you guys haven't seen the video, make sure you go watch it. Here I have some cabbage. I have 1 tomato, 1 jalapeno, purple onion, some cilantro, and I'm going to add all of this into the cabbage. And I'm going to pour over some lime juice along with a half a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of black pepper. And I'm going to mix this together really good. And this is how it looks at this point. I'm just going to add over some plastic wrap and let it sit in the refrigerator to marinate in its own juices or the lime juice for about an hour to 2. And make sure you guys go check out the link for the glass bowls that I use. I hope you guys try this recipe. Follow me. Adios. If you guys have been wanting to achieve some delicious, flavorful, smooth, refried beans / frijoles, I'm going to show you guys how you can do that. And I will be posting a video with all the measurements. Make sure you guys watch that. In my pressure cooker, I'm going to add my pinto beans, onion, garlic, jalapeno, salt, garlic powder, onion powder, chicken bouillon. I'm going to stir that. I'm going to let the beans cook until it's soft. I'm going to add my frijoles into my blender. In my pan, I'm just going to add some butter and olive oil, and I'm going to cook my onions and jalapeno for about 2 minutes. And I'm going to add in the frijoles. I'm just going to mix it. I'm going to add in a little bit more butter. And I'm also going to add in a little bit of salt. And I'm just going to mix this. And this is the consistency that you want your frijoles because they will thicken up. I also added in some cumin. And this is how I made my smooth, delicious frijoles. I hope you guys try this recipe. Make sure you guys watch the video. Follow me. Adios.